This is the drive home with
Zac
and TT for the Mill drive home. Driving home from, was it Pride Park? What is it called now? Is it DCFC Stadium? Is it still Pride Park? I'm sure it's changed its name before. Pride Park, where it finished. Derby County 1.
Millwall 1.
A goal from Mill at one end, scored by Derby, and a goal from Derby scored by Mill. A game of 2 own goals. A very dominant first half performance when the ref was fair in the first half.
Yep.
The ref and the linesman absolutely bent as hell in the second half and changed the game. And basically that's where it was at. Once they were fair in the first half, we were dominant.
They didn't get anywhere near us really. They had one chance from a header and that's it. We had about 10 chances in the first half, like one after the other. But yeah, it's just the ref in the second half. I don't know what happened to him. In the first half I thought, oh my god, we have a fair ref. We have a ref that we can actually get some decisions off of. We come out in the second half and Aziz nearly gets killed and he doesn't give it.
Yeah, like a high boot and nearly takes his head off. And then he takes him out late, right in front of the linesman. It was probably the worst linesman we've had all season because he was ridiculous. But hey ho, we weren't good enough. I don't think we weren't good enough in the second half and in the first half you've got to take your chances. Certainly when you're ahead, and we didn't do that. Thank you very much for all the comments after the Bristol City game. Obviously, it's another game unbeaten against, if I'm being honest, a very poor Derby County team. You can see why they're where they are. I'm not suggesting that we were fantastic, but with Bretta and Diaz and Vyman on there, look like they're two veterans on the pitch. They really were lethargic and just didn't link their play at all. And I think that helped. Obviously, I know the ref made a difference, but taking them two off gave them more vibrancy and more energy. And that made a difference. Apologies, I've got a bit of a chest infection. School night, to be fair, I'm pretty happy with the fact that we've got 88 miles left down the M1 before what's left of the drive, 2 hours 22 minutes. Not bad on a school night. You'll get home at 10 to 1. But yeah, so we started off with, was it virtually an unchanged lineup, but Crocombe in goal. There's a couple of changes. Crocombe in goal. Right back was Crammer, who was excellent again. Yeah. Left back, Doughty.
Again, I thought he played really well.
Yeah, I thought Doughty played well. Centre backs were Cooper and Taylor. They were getting manhandled quite a lot by Adjumang.
He's a beast, then. He's a good striker.
They were both of them were. It was absolutely 50-50 with their battles with him. And the 50-50 battles with him. But again, their fans were calling for it. First half, the ref just gave it no notice. Second half, he just decided that
everything would be given against us.
It's just, I know it's going to say it's repeating ourselves, but it did make a difference. In the midfield, we had Negley, who actually played really well, to be honest, as a centre midfielder.
His best game in the Millwall.
Yeah, and it reminds me. So I saw Mark and Peggy before the game. Really lovely father and daughter. The daughter's going to Nottingham Trent Uni, studying what was it called? Property insurance. She wanted to do stuff with football journalism. So maybe she'll come back to it at one stage. But really lovely, and Mark's one of his favourite players was Negley. He said he's underrated. So we disagreed, but to be fair, he played really well today in the centre midfield. I thought Kenny looked a little bit tired, if I'm being honest. I don't think it.
Yeah, it's difficult. The actual by trade.
Yeah, the actual centre midfielder. Ballo was on the right, Aziz on the left. We had Reece Bangura Williams as the cam, who didn't get into the game at all.
He did a couple of nice tricks and flicks.
Yeah, but I don't. Did very little in the game. And with Ivanovic ploughing a lonely field up front.
Yeah.
But saying that, like I said, we created a number of good chances in the first half. We were dangerous down both wings. Both times it was Aziz or Ballo getting past their player and cutting the ball back. Do you want to talk us through any of the chances?
The thing is, I can't remember the chances but I can remember so many times in the first half. Ballo getting in past his defender, cutting in on his right foot, and trying to whip a ball in. couple of the times it got cleared. I think one of the times Miho got his head to it, but it went wide. And then a couple of times Ballo took it down the wing, crossed it in with his left foot, and that's when one of the main chances come in, where Ballo got in down the left, passed it into Miho, and he should do so much better. He's tried to side foot into the corner. He's been too tricky with it. He's basically played the ball out to Aziz, and
yeah, but then Aziz gets the ball, hits it back across goal.
Oh yeah.
Ivanovic, who puts it in?
Ivanovic.
Was it Ivanovic? It was judged to be offside. It was hard because whether there was we'll have to watch the replay, because it didn't seem that it was close. It was very close. I don't know whether the keeper was in front of the defender, which is maybe why we missed it. But they obviously gave offside, and I'm not sure one way or the other whether it was. But that's where we were dangerous. We're getting to the byline, get Ballo crossing the ball in, and Aziz at the back post. Aziz had a good chance where he hit the outside of the post, a really good kind of side volley. And we, like I said, we were just putting the pressure on. I think Derby had one chance. I think it was Sanderson that had their chance.
No, I think it was Adjaman.
Was it?
Yeah.
In the first half, and it didn't really do anything else. Second half, they made some changes, and I think, you know, after the changes they looked good. And like I said, the referee came into his own in the second half. But again, very few chances created. Do you remember Crocombe making a save?
I think he made one save.
I think he did make one save.
I can't remember what the save was though.
No.
I just remember saying, "Oh, that's a good save."
Yeah,
I think it was in the first half.
Cramer had a couple of chances for Millwall. He got into good positions. One, he had a deflected shot that the keeper made a very flamboyant and over the top save. He was going miles wide, although the deflection would have taken it for a corner anyway. And then another chance where he probably should have squared it to Ivanovic, a little bit like Bangura Williams done against Bristol City, but he didn't. He took the shot on and it got blocked. Both teams done well blocking shots, actually, saying that. That's probably why the keepers didn't have to do too much. But we get the lead. The ball's played down the right. It's a really good running. I think it was Ballo that was at that stage running down the right. He crosses it in, and the defender tries to get to the ball. Was it Mason Clark? Was it Clark?
Yeah, it was Clark.
Clark gets his, at the near post. It's such a good ball with whip on it that he puts his head out, and it goes into the back of the net. 10 minutes to go, puts us 1-0 up. It was actually a really good away end to be in. Considering the numbers, and it's a Wednesday night. I thought we made some decent noise. Derby had one like small pocket with a drum that made any noise. The rest of the stands were really quiet. Den-esque on a Wednesday night, I've got to be honest.
That's what I was about to say.
So not saying they're any worse or better than us, because I know football fans get so fickle about stuff like that. But I thought our away end was pretty decent. Made some decent noise, and obviously 10 minutes to go, you take the lead. And given the way we've been defending, you'd hope we'd see it out. Although we do give up chances, and Bristol City created a few chances today. Derby only really looked like scoring from set pieces. It was the delivery from the set pieces were excellent, and the balls into the box really caused us problems. And the goal comes from after a period, I think like of 3 or 4 corners, and the goals come from an outswinger, which I thought actually might have gone off before it came back in again, but it was really close to the touchline. And Cooper's flat-footed. Mason Clark puts some pressure on him, and it basically comes off Cooper's head and into the bottom right-hand corner, which is what you want him to do at the other end.
Yeah, it was actually a really good header.
Ironically. Well, a really bad header if you're a defender, because it goes into the back of the net. But it was a good connection, which doesn't normally happen. It's a lot of the time it's Cooper's head that goes all over the place, because Cooper did have a chance in the first half and he headed it just over the bar.
He was scooping it back, wasn't he?
Yeah, and so obviously that made it 1-1. And just going into injury time, 5 minutes of injury time, to be fair, Derby probably looked the more likely to score. We slowed the game down with Danny Mack, and Danny Mack got booked. It was never a booking.
Aziz shouldn't have been booked.
Aziz got booked for a nothing foul. There was one where I thought, there's a pullback that potentially could have been given.
That was in the first half.
Yeah, it was in the first half.
When he was actually fairly fair.
And I thought, but he weren't going towards goal.
Yeah.
They criticised the fact that their player got booked, but Aziz had turned him and he was running towards goal and he's dragged him back. That's a booking. Whereas our one, we their player was running towards their own goal, which is why it's not always given as a booking.
But to be fair, I don't know how Aziz did not get a foul. There was, we've already said about it, but there was one where the ball's gone up a little bit in the air. It's one of them where it bounces and the attacker tries to get his head to it. The defender tries to clear the ball, ends up booting Aziz in the head. Aziz carries on because he's got possession. Then the defender goes through his ankle, and the lino is about 5 feet away from it. The ref's about 15 feet away from it. And somehow they've decided not to give one of the fouls.
Yeah. Again, listen. Hopefully we get some players back, because our squad. We're tired in the second half. There's no getting around it, because we've got such a our bench today was quite weak. We need some players back if we're going to continue to challenge, because the teams around us have got so much strength in depth. Well, we would have strength in depth if we didn't have 6 of our 7 central midfielders out injured. We look at Coburn, obviously scored the winner at Derby last year. There's so many players out that we hope to get back. But to be honest, if you'd have offered me a point at the start of the game, I'd have taken it. Seeing how bad Derby actually are, I probably would have wanted us to win, to get all 3 points. And the way we played, certainly in the first half, you'd have expected us to get all 3 points. But we're driving down the M1 with a point. That's what, 4 games unbeaten again.
Yeah, 10 points off of 4 games.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. 2 really, really tough games to come now, with Hull, who are 6th, and then on Saturday
Blackburn away, which I don't think I've ever watched Millwall win at Ewood Park.
No, it's not a happy hunting ground. Obviously, Barrett and Diaz, unhappy memories for Blackburn. But obviously, we'll probably do the drive home in the pub on Saturday, because we are getting the train down. But who's your man of the match?
Do you know what? Camille Nedley. I thought he was quality. I actually did think he was really good. And it's always good to point out a player who's normally not that great. And yeah, I thought he played really well, considering it's a different position. It might be his position, you never know.
Fair enough. Ironically, I thought Jane Coop had a really good game until we nodded it in for them. But I thought Negley had a good game. Like I said, Kelly, Reece Bangura, Williams. I thought Ballow looked more dangerous today. He looked better. Like I said, Birmingham, I think it was Portsmouth away where he looked really poor. Or was it Birmingham away as well? Where he wasn't very good at all. He looked back to being dangerous and electric.
Yeah.
So that was good to see, and it gives us that, like you said, because I said we look really strong with Crammer, and I thought, to be fair, I think Crammer was excellent. Crammer and Aziz down one wing, and then you've got Doughty, and Ballow down the other.
Yeah.
We've got problem makers on both wings, which is where you just need some help for Ivanovic. Really, that's what we're needing. But thank you very much for watching the Millwall drive home. We really appreciate your support. There's only one way we can end it. No one likes us.
We don't care.